Hello guys, it's been 123 and I'm back with another Reddit video, and today I have r/MaliciousCompliance. Before I get into the video, I just want to say thank you for helping me hit 4K subscribers, and if you haven't and you're watching, hit the subscribe button for daily Reddit content, and if you haven't already, subscribe to these guys as well. And as always, I have a hidden quote in my video. The first person to say it gets a free heart. Let's get straight into the video. This one's titled, "I'm holding your dog wrong? Fine, you do it." I work in a vet clinic where the majority of my job is, surprise surprise, holding animals for the vet to do his job. Now, I get that some owners are super attached to their pets, as I love animals too. However, some clients go a bit far. Guy comes in to have his very fluffy. Our vet doesn't let us say fat. Golden looked at. He is a good dog, not mean or anything, but he is a big dog and did not want to be on the table, so he was struggling to get down and very wiggly. So I'm holding this dog. Dog is straining and wiggling, but I'm good and I've got him. Owner insists on helping, getting in the way, and keeps saying that I'm holding his dog too tight. I'm choking his dog and his dog will have a stroke if I don't loosen up. Now thankfully, my vet is backing me up, saying she knows what she is doing, let her do her job, and stuff like that, but this guy won't let it go. Vet finishes part of the exam and turns away to the counter to write on the chart and looks at a slide. So now that I'm not endangering my vet, I decide to give the guy what he wants. I loosen up his 100+ pound dog, and since he has been crowding me the whole exam trying to hold, I let him. Now, I don't let go completely because I don't want the dog to launch off of the table or get hurt, but I definitely want this guy to suffer a bit. He doesn't have a good hold at all. Dog is struggling and pushing against him. I'm not letting the dog trash around or anything. I'm not some monster. For probably a good 5 minutes, when my vet is ready, I take back my good hold, and wouldn't you know it, the dog settles back down. And the owner finally backs off and just resigns himself to patting and babying his dog instead of trying to hold. He was all red-faced and out of breath, which made me more than a little happy. Out of breath? Oh, the irony. Did you see that second last sentence? Jesus Christ, that was horrible. There's no punctuation, so oh my god. Oh, I feel like I ran a marathon. This one's titled, "The doctor's note for my documented service connected disability isn't good enough? Okay, I'll get a new one." This has been an ongoing problem between myself and my company's HR manager. She's new, and a pretty stereotypical Karen. I miss the old HR manager. She was sweet and understanding. Anyway, this began in January and is just finally seeing some resolution now. I am a disabled vet and recently took a new position at my company where I need to sit most of the day. I've had lumbar surgery and need some simple accommodations for seatings to make my job less painful, which my desk, a stand-up desk, addition isn't an option. I was told by my boss that if I needed anything for the job as far as ergonomic comfort stuff goes, to go through the facilities people who buy that poop, and they'd be able to get me it for no problem. Apparently, the facilities manager is also new. After 2 weeks of waiting for approval, she informed me she had no idea what I was talking about and that HR would get my forward request for a cheap seat cushion and lumbar support for my coccyx and back. Before you ask, why not just buy them for yourself? I decided against it because I wanted a paper trail in case my condition worsened and there became need for further evidence with the company that I need new accommodation for my disability. HR then told me I needed a doctor's note to have a chair pad and lumbar support. Even though my surgery and disability are already documented, they wanted my doctor to write a note saying I had to have those items. I explained to her that I couldn't just go to the VA to get a note. Appointments take forever and I'm really not wanting to wait for these things any longer, so she said to go to my civilian GP. Fine, whatever. I go to the family doc and get the note. It read that I needed the item and she even wrote a prescription for the item I needed. Perfect, or so I thought. I sent the note and prescription to HR. She said the note didn't say exactly what it needed to say. This verbiage, however, was of course never expressed to me. So at this point, I'm pretty pissed off. It's been over a month. My back is getting worse. I asked her to tell me exactly what she needs the note to say, and she said to be very specific of my needs. Here's where the MC begins. I went back to the doctors yet again and told her what I was told. Now, the doctor was also annoyed. So the doctor writes the note saying exactly what HR lady said to write. She then was also very specific that I in fact didn't need a new pad for my chair. I needed a completely new chair with proper support. I take that note back to HR. HR lady's face turns red and she says, "A new chair isn't in the budget." I reminded her that the letter was written exactly as she wanted. She didn't care. She wasn't going to buy me a new chair. Now, I'm not wanting to drag this out any longer, so I said, "Fine, I'll pick out a chair pad and lumbar support instead." She told me that I could pick out any accommodation I wanted that would satisfy the letter and my needs, but the $250 chair I suggested wasn't gonna happen. She apparently didn't know chair pads could exceed the cost of a chair. Okay, good. So after receiving an email stating to go ahead and get what I needed, I went to the first medical supply website I saw and picked out the most expensive chair pad I could find. It was well north of $300 and 10 times more expensive than my initial request, which could have been filled by a simple, "Go ahead and get what you need." It's also more expensive than the chair I wanted by about $100. She told me no, of course. But then I reminded her that her email authorized this and that if I had to, I could go to the VP of the company, who's also a disabled vet, and sympathetic. She relented and I'm getting what I needed, finally. I wasn't asking for much, a pad for my butt so my tailbone doesn't hurt, and a damn lumbar pillow, $30 to $50 worth of stuff. It cost me 2 months and cost them about $400 total. Fact of the matter is, that if she would have just been polite and told me what I needed up front, then this would have been much cheaper and faster. All I have to say to this is congratulations, dude. You're a vet and I have to salute you. Not only because you were in the war or whatever, but you also basically hold a lady ransom. And now your butt, like legit, just your butt is worth $400. That's a proud accomplishment, I have to say myself. I wish my butt was worth $400 because I would be a proud bean. So salute to you, my dude. And in reality, she doesn't win. He doesn't win because she's just there to follow up the rules. But you have to respect him for holding up a manager ransom and basically kneel before him and make her surrender to his demands. She's like a true warrior. Soldier, never give up. This one's titled, "Lying Mother Ordered Me to Apologize to Her and Her Child for Something I Didn't Do." So, I did. Long time lurker, first time poster here, so sorry if there's any formatting errors. TDLR at the bottom. I, 13F at the time, was on holiday in France with my family and a friend of mine who was the same age as me. We managed to make some friends whilst we were there, and there was a water park with slides inside the resort which we played in every day. I was always a good child. I never really pushed the boundaries and was respectful of the rules and waiting my turn, and my parents knew this. This plays a major part in the story. Myself and my friends had been playing on the water slide one day. 3 of the slides included climbing up a tower and queuing down the stairs until it was your turn to go. So, we all queued up along the stairs and eventually we got to have a turn down the big slide. Once we all had our turns, we went over to my parents who had been sunbathing on some nearby sand loungers. Just as we had reached them, a cold wet hand slapped down on my right shoulder from behind and spun me around. Next thing I knew, I was staring at a very, very annoyed lady and her young son next to her, screaming at me. She accused me of dragging her son down the stair of the water slide so I could push in at the front of the queue, and apparently I had done this a number of times. I denied it. My friends who I was with the whole time denied it, but she wasn't having any of it. She was not willing to listen. Her words were gospel. Once this lady had finished with me, she turned to my mum, who could barely get a word in edgeways to defend me. She was demanding. I apologized to her and her son, and for me to be disciplined immediately. My parents, knowing that I wouldn't have done anything like what this woman was accusing me of, refused to discipline me because they didn't believe her. But she wouldn't give up, and this woman was going on and on and on. Her voice getting even louder than it started off being. She was making a scene. Mum gave me this look. I never saw this look before, and I have never seen it again, but there was no misunderstanding between myself and my mother in that moment. I turned to this lady, looked her square in the face, and said, "I'm really sorry that you're a compulsive liar." And then I turned to her young son and said, "I'm sorry that your mom thinks it's okay to bully children." Her mouth hit the floor. She made this goldfish facial expression for a few seconds and then stormed off, while sticking a finger up at us. I caught her later to be what I am assuming was complaining about us to a lifeguard, but he wasn't interested. Nothing ever came of it. Oh, come on. I can't be the only one expecting this. I don't know what it is. The way the mom looking and they just clicked. I just thought she was gonna spear, the daughter's gonna spear the boy into the pool, and then the mom's gonna spear the other mom into the water. I don't know why, I just thought that. Maybe I watched too much pro wrestling, but I was just expecting the nod, get up, spear, straight through the water, or straight into the water. My childish mind. But that's a smart thing to do, and really immature from the mom, pointing the finger at kids. Anyways guys, hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. That's the end of the video. Peace out.